Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, everyone. Well, happy Friday. I hope that your week has been a fantastic one. I have so been enjoying your comments on my coin counting Q&A from Wednesday. And it's just been so fun to read, and you guys seem really happy with the fact that I was able to answer all the questions that we received up to the point of filming. We have gotten some questions afterward, and actually a major one was regarding the weekly check-in, actually. And so I am going to go ahead and try to the best of my ability to kind of explain how we do this around here. So if you are new to zero-based budgeting, and then also the cash stuffing method, this is the long and short of it. Well, let me start here. Whenever my husband and I do our budget, we do it at the beginning of the month and we budget for the entire month. So we don't budget per paycheck because my husband is salaried. And even though I'm an hourly employee, I have a pretty reasonable expectation for what I'm going to make from pay period to pay period. And so what we do is we take our projected pay for the month and we budget out what we're going to need in every category of our budget accordingly. What we do from there is we go ahead and create a cash stuffing plan for the entire month. And so from week to week to week, we go ahead and just kind of map out what we're going to be, what money we're going to be allotting in each category on a weekly basis. What we do from there is our bills and expenses, our bills and major expenses stay in our checking account. Because of that, we are able to cash stuff and cash pool our regularly spent from categories and also just kind of sinking funds. But also that brings us to the weekly check-in. So since we have our bills and major expenses money that just sits in our account from week to week, we have essentially a built-in buffer with that money sitting in there so that if I happen to make a purchase online or with my debit card, the money that is in there for our bills and expenses can kind of serve as the buffer until I can take the money that I have in my envelopes that I've spent for the week, but via credit card or debit card, not credit card, no credit cards, via debit card or online purchase. And then I can return that money to the bank. And so that's what this video is. Every single week, I go in and I reconcile all of the debit or online purchases from the week for the categories that we pull cash for, so that way we're not running a deficit with the bills money that we have sitting in our checking account. I hope that helps to kind of clear up some of your questions regarding that, and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense as we go forward in this video as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my expense tracker for the week. My binder is from Jumping Fox Designs. They're a female small business based in the US, but this can be purchased on Amazon, which is fantastic. Got my little Post-it pads here. My sale is still going on when you guys are watching this video. The last day for it is Monday. So if you are interested in my teller slips, especially the little Post-it pads, this is a great deal because everything in my shop is 25% off, including my budget planner. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop into January and go into my expense tracker. And I'll just go I'm just gonna pull it out because it's just easier to work with that way. Oh, you know what else though? I'm gonna do this because I hate seeing the entire form. I just feel like it looks like chaos on the screen to you guys. So, oh, you know what? And also I need to pull out some extra sheets for smooth writing underneath. We had this conversation in a weekly check-in a few weeks ago. I need pages underneath of my pages when I'm writing. Otherwise, I just feel like I don't get like a smooth pen expression. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm losing all my English today. Okay, so I'm just going to block these ones up here just because I feel like it just looks like it's too much. It's too much. And then what I'm going to do, we're just going to go ahead and zoom in on this page here. So I will do that and then come right back. Okay, I have ooh, I'm just banging into stuff. I have a super zoomed in here because I want to make sure that you guys can see clearly. I have heard before, like it's difficult sometimes for you guys to see. So what we do here, the weekly check-in is kind of just like a fun video because you kind of get a picture for how we spend on a regular basis, and how we kind of deal with any issues or discrepancies that may pop up in the budget. So let's just jump right in. First up was an Amazon, I already am losing my English, an Amazon purchase on the 8th of January. It was $20.02. And this is like a funny Veda story. So I wanted to buy clean shampoo for my kiddos because just like, I think I mentioned this in my last weekly check-in. I was noticing that I think the soap was just a little harsh. It's a clean soap. There aren't any like toxic chemicals or anything in it, but it's just a harsher soap. And so it was like causing my scalp to crazy overproduce oil. And the one that I replaced it with, which somebody asked me actually which one it was in the comments, and I haven't gotten a chance to reply, but I will go ahead and pop the shampoo that I purchased for myself in the comments for you guys, or my goodness, not the comments, the description bar, so that you can see which shampoo I purchased. I've used it twice since then, and I love it. The difference is noticeable. But also the other thing that I was noticing when I was using it for my kids, my daughter especially, is she has naturally curly hair, and it's kind of killing the curl in her hair a little bit. And so I think it's just too harsh for her too. The reason why this is a funny Veda story is because I found a clean shampoo, what I thought was a clean shampoo, on Environmental Working Group, their recommendations, and I ended up realizing when it arrived that it was conditioner. And I didn't realize it until I used it on my daughter's hair in the bathroom, or when she was in the bath. And so I can't return it because I've already used it, which is fine. I didn't need a conditioner, but it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to return a used product to them, even though, I mean, it was my error to begin with. So anyways, very, very long story, but I still have to find a good shampoo for them. But I'm going to have to return $20 to the bank. This is going to pop up in conversation here. So the purchase was $20.02. We have the often asked about virtual coin jar in my husband's spreadsheet, where he tracks kind of like the change overage that we have. And you'll see that a little bit further down because this is actually a change underage. Because I'm only going to be returning $20 to the bank, even though we spent $20.02. But my husband tracks all of this change fluctuation in a separate category in his Excel spreadsheet. And so we knew that we had the 2 cents to kind of cover that purchase. Next up, because my shop has been doing so well with the sale, thank you guys, by the way, I needed to have a huge order of materials come in to make sure that I had enough vellum and laminating sheets and everything to complete all of my orders that I've been making. So I did a pretty big order this day. It was for $108.45, and I'll be returning $109 to the bank. And so that means that this spare 55 cents is going to be added into our virtual coin jar, which is why I said it's not that big of a deal that we overspent 2 cents here, because my husband is going to cover it with this extra 55 cents here. And I know that his spreadsheet is something that you guys want to see. And a couple people have recommended for him to do like a mock spreadsheet just so that you guys can kind of see how he goes about doing it. And it's not so much that we don't want you to see our personal information, because I mean, I air all of that for you guys to see on a weekly basis, like what we're spending and how we're spending. It's more just like, the spreadsheet is so rudimentary that we're not sure that it would be a benefit to anybody else, because it's so specific to my husband's brain and the way that he processes information, if that makes sense. We're still going to see if it's something that we can like duplicate and show you like how he does. But right now it's just like one of those things that's kind of like on the back burner for us to show you guys. Unfortunately, I know so many people want to see it, and it's not that we don't want to, it's just like a matter of trying to work out the kinks and make it work. So anyways, next up, we actually have, I'm just going to tell you now, actually, we overspent in groceries again. I don't know what's going on. I am always very meticulous at the grocery store in terms of like making sure I'm not really like an impulse buyer at the grocery store. Not really, not ever. I don't really ever go outside of what I know that we're going to need to actually feed us from week to week, because we don't really have the wiggle room in our grocery budget to buy extras, so to speak. Somebody actually asked in the comments within the last like week or two, because our grocery bill is so expensive and we know like, she knows that we go about eating like very healthy food. Would I want to do a grocery haul? I guess I could do that for you guys. We're not very like adventurous eaters. I'm not a cook. I'm a baker, and I basically just cook us food to survive on a weekly basis. And we eat so much. That's what causes our grocery bill to be so high. My kids eat a lot. My husband eats a lot. I eat a lot. And so that's kind of what makes our grocery bill so high. Anyway, went off on a tangent there, but I saw that question and I didn't want to not address it. And I have, frankly, if you guys have noticed, been very, very slow to respond to comments. My work schedule ramped up because one of my coworkers is away on vacation. And of course, my shop has been so busy because of the sale that I have not been able to pop in and answer comments in the way that I really like to. So I do apologize for that, but I do see them. And that's why I try to address any comments or questions that I see in here. Anyway, even more of a tangent. I'm not sure what's going on at the grocery store. I don't know if it's like a combination of inflation and me like having these like little panic, like what if we run out of this, and like buying extra of something kind of things. So I'm going to work out all of those kinks. Needless to say, I'm going to be returning whatever is in our grocery envelope to the bank, and then stuffing less in the next few weeks and really trying hard to like buckle down and not overspend at the grocery store. So wish me luck. Anyways, all that to say, grocery is not going to be going to the back to the bank in a traditional way. I did forget to bring my grocery cash with me when I went grocery shopping this week, and so I will return whatever is in the envelope to the bank. But it's obviously going to be less than what we have listed here. But my husband I was making him chili, and I realized, oh, holy smokes, I don't have chili powder. And so he ran really quickly to Family Dollar to get me some chili powder so I could make his chili. And so my husband was like, this is from the Family Dollar. This is like 90% sawdust. But anyways, so it was $4 from there. And then what I did, because after he said this is like 90% sawdust, that like triggered my brain into being like, I need to get good quality chili powder. So I ordered a pound, literally a pound of organic chili powder off of Amazon. And so that's what the $17.14 purchase is. I'm going to be returning $17 to the bank because my husband took the 14 cents from his little virtual coin jar there. And then on the 8th, I had another materials order because I realized that I was really low on my 3 mil matte laminating sheets. And so I placed an order for those. They were $46.77, and I'm going to be returning $47 to the bank. I have no idea what this toiletries purchase was. Like, no clue. Really trying to think here. Can't. Anyway, it was $5.19. I'm returning $5 to the bank. And then we were like, oh, let's go bowling one weekend. And so my husband found a Groupon for a bowling alley that's close to us. So we're pulling that from Family Fun, and it's going to be $25.20. And we're going to be returning $25 to the bank. We did a lot of borrowing from the virtual coin jar this past week, but we add to it a lot too, so it's fine. Next up, actually on the 9th, I ordered, this is actually fun. So I think I told you guys a little bit about the work drama that they fired my manager. I think it was like at the end of September, and it was not an issue with my manager. It was absolutely 80,000% an issue with our corporate offices. I make it sound like I actually work for a very small business, a very small company, and it's family owned. And the CEO is an unbelievable narcissist. And I am viewing my time there as I like the work that I do, and I like the customers that I have. And so I am largely able to ignore the CEO because he's actually not based in Texas. So I deal with it. I would have quit actually when he fired my manager, except for that we were on the verge of that government shutdown back at the beginning of October, November. And so I wanted to make sure that we had my income there as supplemental just in case the government did shut down. And so that's why I didn't quit when he fired my boss. But trust me when I tell you that the second that I can get out of my job, I'm going to, because this guy, like I said, is an unbelievable narcissist. Anyway, my old manager was a lovely, lovely, lovely person. And she was offered another GM job almost immediately, and her first day was coming up, and so I wanted to buy her some flowers to wish her luck and just tell her how lucky her new company is to have her there, because she really is a spectacular person. And so that's what this is. And I was saying to my husband that day, and this is again for encouragement for those of you who are new to the system and you're like looking at your categories and your envelopes and they're not buffed up and they're not full, and you're like wondering how you're going to be able to buy things and spend money here and there. Take heart, because a year ago I would not have been able to spend $63.85 on flowers for a manager. But we have that wiggle room now because we've been building up our categories for so long now. That we have some wiggle room in our budget here and there to be able to do things like this and spread some kindness around to people who really need it. And so I was so happy to be able to do that for her, and they made her day. She sent me a picture afterward, and we're actually going to be hanging out. When you guys are watching this, we're going to be at coffee together. So I'm really, really excited to be able to spend some time with her, but I was also excited to just give her a little bit of love, because the way that she was fired was really, really poorly done. It was really ugly, and I just wanted to encourage her that she was going somewhere that was going to appreciate her the way that she deserves to be valued and appreciated. So anyways, I will step off of that soapbox because when I think about it still, it just makes me so angry. So anyways, next up, also on the 9th, we had an Amazon purchase for shipping supplies. I ordered some little stickers. So if you ever get an order from my shop, I have these little round stickers on the outside that just asks the mail people to please not smush or bend them, because I have, things, and I don't want people to bend my envelopes or dashboards for my customers. So I needed to order more of those. And so I did. And so it was $10.81. And I'm going to be returning $11 to the bank. And then here, since we're going to flip the page, it's typical Veda. You all knew that I was going to have a Target purchase. The total was $67.69, and there are multiple categories. And so if you do happen to be new to this is how we break this down. Whenever you go, it's not always clean, right? Whenever you go to a store, especially like a Walmart, a Costco, a Target, places like that, you're going to make a purchase, and it might be from several different categories. And so this is how we do this. We put the total purchase price here because we always reconcile this with our bank statement. And so we're going to see the total purchase of $67.69. And so we want to make sure that we can find the purchase so that we can reconcile it. But then also we break it down like this into multiple categories. And so let me make sure you're in frame. Yeah. And so I'll just break down however many categories it falls into. In this case, it was just 2 of them. And so one of them was home maintenance for $20. And so I'll be returning $20 to the bank. And then the other one was a grocery purchase for $47.69. And I just put all grocery next to it because I'm returning all of the grocery money that's in our envelope right now. So that's how that works out. And that's how we do that. And it makes it really easy for us to be able to, one, reconcile the purchase with our bank statement, as I said before, but then also it makes it easier for me because I have to break down the different categories so I know what envelopes to unstuff from our binders. And then the last up was a fun one. I treated myself to a little nail polish. I have been obsessed with the idea, which you wouldn't know right now based on my nail. I'm also kind of in like I wore so much color on my nails the last couple of months. I'm like, I need like nude nails time. And so last week, you guys will have seen, I think it was, So most of the nail polish that I have is actually from it used to be KL Polish. Now it's called Lights Lacquer, and I've linked their colors before. Last week's color was called Miss Honey. It was actually a reference from the Matilda movie, if you guys have ever seen that, from the 90s. It was like the name of the teacher, I think. She was really sweet. And so it was this like peachy, nudie color. And so she named that one after her. And then this week I kept it in the same family, but this is also kind of like a sheer nude, and it's also Lights Lacquer, and it's called Pinky. Yes, Pinky. Because I'm just like feeling some nude nails right now. Anyways, but I have also been obsessed with having navy, like a deep, dark, midnight navy blue nail. And so I found a color from OPI, and I cannot think of the name of it right now. And so I purchased that for myself. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to a new nail polish color because I have pretty much been finding the time to give myself a little mani every single week, which is so fun. It's like a nice little treat yourself spa day, except for it's not a day. It's just, however long it takes me to paint my nails, but I digress. Anyways, so that's going to be coming from my Hers envelope. It was $12.98, and I'm going to be returning $13 to the bank. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to zoom you guys back out. We're going to add up all the cash that I should be returning to the bank, and then we will unstuff our envelopes. Alrighty, so just to offer a brief little explanation of what we're doing here, I am going to be adding up all of the dollar amounts that are in the return to bank column over here so that I know how much money I should expect to have total at the end after I unstuff all of my cash envelopes. So I always zoom you guys through that because nobody wants to watch me sit here and use a calculator. And so once we come back, then we'll know what money we're supposed to expect to have at the end, and we can get into the unstuffing. So here we go. When I was adding this up, I realized that I can't add in any of the grocery category because I know I'm just pulling all of the grocery money out. So what I should have apart from grocery money is $314. So once I figure out what's in my grocery envelope, I'll add that to the $314 so that I know kind of total what I should have at the end. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit more because the only grocery purchases that you're seeing here are ones that we made outside of our normal grocery purchase, but I also made 2 other grocery trips that that's the reason why I have to return all the grocery money. So I'm just going to write down $314 so I know what to expect. So $314. And then I can go ahead and get into unstuffing the cash from all of my cash envelopes. Do you know what you need when you're going to be unstuffing cash from your cash envelopes? Your cash envelopes. They weren't even in here. I'm going to move my little kombucha off to the side here, and I'll just put these guys in the corner. And then we can just jump right in here to unstuffing this cash. So I know I have to pop into grocery and grab everything out of there, and it will also help me make change. So I'm just gonna do that now, and then I'll be able to add it into here, but also I'll know what I'm supposed to have at the end too. So 1, 2, 53, 50, 70, 90, 5, 400, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually at the end, I should have 407 plus 314. So that's 721. 721. All right. So let me just go ahead and put this off to the side. You guys aren't even going to be able to see my cash tray over here, but trust me that I have it because it's difficult to facilitate like having all the money separated out and everything without my cash tray. I love this thing. Handy dandy little cash tray. I'll leave it linked below for you guys. It's from a little Etsy shop called Funds and Fun. And I love it. This thing is so handy for just like cash stuffing in general. Okay, so actually I'm gonna just go ahead and cross out the grocery purchases because I know that I have all the grocery money here that I should have. Actually, the balance is now 0. And I'll put a check mark there too. All right, so let's see. Do I have any other high priority sinking funds? The answer is yes. We've got toiletries. Actually, I'll just do toiletries first. How many? So I just have the 2. So toiletries, I'm returning 20 and then 5. I think I probably only have 20 in here, which is fine. I'll just stuff it 5 less in next week's cash stuffing. So 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. 21. So I only need to stuff it. I need to stuff it 4 less. So 4 less next week. So I need to make sure that I go over here and subtract because I'm going to have 4 less dollars than I need. So I need to make sure I make a note of that. Put a check mark there and a 0 here, big old goose egg. And then we go into my cash stuffing plan for next week and update that so that I do not pull the total amount and then we are overspent technically in toiletries at that point. So here we go. So toiletries, so -4. I just update my cash stuffing plans. We try not to overspend from week to week, but if we do, we just amend what we're going to stuff it the following week so that we're not overspending for the month. We try to stay in budget for a month. We don't get too bogged down in the like every week details. Okay, so let's see. Gifts, shipping supplies. Home maintenance is for sure in here. So I need $20 from there. Here we go. Well, that was nice and easy. So now in home maintenance, we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 30, 45, 55, 65, 75, 76, and 77. So 277 in home maintenance. $277. This is one of those ones where once we get our debt paid down and our emergency fund like fully funded at 3 to 6 months, I actually want some small buffer emergency funds, which makes my husband laugh. He's like, that's what the emergency fund is for. But I'm like, no, I want small buffer emergency funds and things like home maintenance, car, and like medical, so that it kind of covers maybe like an insurance deductible plus some, or like if we need to replace an appliance or something like that. I would rather not dig into like my big emergency fund for that, because I view the 3 to 6 months of emergency fund as like if we lose a job, not if we need a new dishwasher. You know what I mean? So anyways, it makes my husband laugh, but I'm like, now that we're moving toward like financial responsibility, like I'm like, I want all the buffer funds set up so that we don't ever get ourselves into a situation. I mean, I know we won't, but I'm especially like fanatical about it now, which is something I did not foresee happening, but you know, people can change, I suppose. Okay, so I think that's going to be it actually for our high priority sinking funds. And I know in low priority, I need to go into mine at the very least. A lot of this is actually from my shop this week. Yeah, hers. I just need to grab $13 from my spending. Here we go. So 13, let's see. I knew I was going to have one, so that's good. So 10, 11, 12, 13. And remaining in my spending, I have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 80. So 180 in my spending, which is so nice. I don't have any plans for anything right now, but you never know. 180 and put a check mark. And then I think, let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, we also have Family Fun, $25 from there, because we're gonna go bowling. My kids both love it, which is fun actually. So 25. And remaining in Family Fun, we have 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 40. So $40 left in Family Fun. Oops. There we go. There we go. $40 and a check mark. And then I think that's it for low priority. And so we'll just pop into holiday sinking funds because I do have to grab something from gifts. $64. They were such pretty flowers too. I was like, man, I want those in my house. Wait, did I say 64? Yeah, 64. Oh, I knew I was gonna need some change. So 100 minus 64, we know I cannot do that math. I'm gonna get $36 back. So 20, 30, 5, and 6. So remaining in gifts, we have 100, 20, 40, 50, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. So 169 in gifts. Oops. There we go. 169, put a check mark. And I think the rest of this is in my business binder, which is quite unusual, but you all took advantage of this sale and you're getting you some envelopes, which makes me so, so excited. Love this for you guys, actually and genuinely. Okay, so first up, a lot of this is coming out of materials. So let's see, we've got 109, 47. Oh, and that's it. So 156 from materials. So 150, 5, and 6. I love exact change. Exact change is my favorite. Okay, so 150, 5, 6. So remaining in materials, I have 100, 20, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 140, and 141. Put a line through there and a check mark. 141. And then we've got shipping supplies somewhere. Where did that go? Here we go. $11 from shipping supplies. Oh, perfect. Exact change. All right. And so remaining in shipping supplies, I have $31. Put that down too. Alrighty. I think that's it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and count my cash over here. I should have, let's see, 721 minus 4. So 717. Let's see how that works out. Please. Okay, here we go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 5,500, 5,600, 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 95, 700. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 717 returning to the bank. Now, just for some like full on insight, I no longer return this to the bank. I used to do that. When we first started cash budgeting and cash stuffing, I was just really worried about overdrawing our account. Even though we kept our bills money in there, I just really wanted to make sure that I was being diligent and making sure that I was like dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's. And so we would always just take the money back to the bank to return it because they were debit or online purchases. Now what I do is I actually just, when I do my cash pool, I actually cash pool every Friday. You guys see the video on Monday. When I do my cash pool on Friday, I just repurpose that cash, this cash, to act as the cash that I'm stuffing in my envelopes for my cash stuffing next week. So it's going to be more than $717. So I will go get whatever is left over from the bank in the denominations that I need, but this helps get me there. And so what that essentially means is I'm trying to use words that don't confuse everybody. This is essentially just my cash stuffing for next week. So I'm not pulling the total amount of money that I'm stuffing from the bank because I have most of what I need here, if that makes sense. So just let me know if you have any questions down below. I understand that this process might seem confusing, and sometimes it just kind of helps to watch several videos in a row before you get the hang of it. And it certainly helps to watch more than one person doing it because everybody's system is different, and you'll kind of pull bits and pieces from everybody's system and adapt it to what works best for you. So please, like if you're, looking to start this process, watch a few channels. Don't just watch mine. You'll learn so much more by seeing other people do the process too, because sometimes the way that somebody explains something or does something just makes better sense in your own brain too. So if I'm confusing you, certainly ask me questions, but don't, go watch somebody else's process because somebody else's process might be more streamlined and make more sense to you. So the important thing here is financial responsibility and financial freedom above everything else. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I would love it so much if you gave me a thumbs up and left me a comment down below. I do see them. I don't always get to them in the time that I would like to get to them in, but I do see them. And I love seeing you guys there. So thank you for always being a part of my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. This is what we do on a weekly basis. My content doesn't change very much, but it's just an opportunity to kind of see how somebody is doing their cash budgeting or zero-based budgeting or cash stuffing process. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope that you get to do something fun. I know that we're past the holiday season now and it can be really sad. But spring is just around the corner. Or in the case of Texans, we're about to enter our winter freeze stage. So we might even be getting some snow or ice here soon. So anyways, stay safe and warm this weekend, everyone. And I will see you on Monday with a regular old cash stuffing. Bye, everyone.